Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast, the Cabin Podcast. It's been a little while since we've recorded the last one, but we've got a couple of new members, team members, and we haven't had Bree or Oryana yet to the podcast, so how are you guys doing?
We are good.
I am so good.
Not nervous at all, are you?
No, not at all. I
can't tell.
didn't hear my name, so I was like, am I in it? You said Bree and Ori, and then that was it. I was like, oh, I'm just furniture.
And Diz.
This is Diz, by the way.
Definitely Diz.
No.
All right, so Diz is first up for the questions.
Oh, of course I am.
Yeah. All right, so Diz is our newest member of the team, the cabin team. So you've been with us, what, about a week, 2 weeks?
Yes, a week yesterday. But I wasn't here yesterday, so a week today. What did I say today?
So a week later, she's not even turning up.
Yeah. No, I had enough. I needed a day off.
Yeah, I was
We all
worn
needed
out.
a day off.
Yeah, I know. Got smashed last week though. It was awesome.
All right, so about the cabin, how did you kind of hear about the cabin and kind of what made you want to work here?
Who hasn't heard about the cabin? Like, it's everywhere. It's all. I just
that's
love the
good.
marketing and the way that you guys brought Maitland alive, and like it's all over social media. You guys have just put your name out there, and I was just like, oh, that looks like a cool place to work. You guys are my people. I'm like, yeah, I want to go there.
And you've lived in Maitland for a fair while, hey?
yeah, almost 10 years.
Sorry, we'll just pause for a minute.
Pause.
Can Diz do fingers?
I can, yes.
Yeah.
Spirit fingers? Or?
Jazz fingers,
Jazz fingers.
jazz hands.
Yeah,
Alright.
almost 10 years. But I was born in Gunnedah, left when I was like 2, and then...
Sorry to hear.
Me too. I didn't have a choice. But it was like I moved to Taro, Beresfield, Thornton, lived in Melbourne for a little while, didn't like the hustle and bustle, and then moved here in 2011.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so fair while.
Fair while. I know enough about Maitland. I have been here long enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, so tattooing, we'll get onto your tattooing part. How long have you been tattooing?
I'll say 6 years, since 2014, so yeah.
Yeah. So you've only been in a couple of shops, which is good as well.
Yeah. I was at one in Raymond Terrace, that's where I started my apprenticeship, and then I was at a private studio, and now I'm here.
Yep. Cool. Are you're loving it here?
Yes.
Loving the environment?
Yes.
Loving you.
Say it's sexier.
It'll hear from back as
Yes.
She's trying to be sultry.
Yes.
Yeah.
you to rub the mic. Yes. But you're low.
Then you have to buy dinner.
All right. So tattooing style. What's your favourite style, or something you want to push, or you're known for?
I do love my portraits. I don't actually know what I'm known for. I enjoy everything, so I like to think that I'm versatile. Someone could come to me for cartoon, I'll do a cartoon, new school, portrait, dot work, mandalas, fine art, I'm a mixed bag.
You're all
Yeah.
rounder.
Yeah, I kind of like that, because then you get to meet a whole bunch of awesome
Different
different
people.
people
That's
with
right.
different backgrounds,
Yep.
different styles.
Not doing the same thing every day.
Yeah, exactly. Although if I do, I'd probably end up getting burnt out. I'd be like, can I have something different, please?
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's the problem with picking one style and going with it is.
Exactly, you get burnt out with
Yeah,
it.
you get burnt out
and
with
you
it.
don't want your hobby to turn into your job. So
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to stop.
Yep. All right. So this is kind of letting people know who you are and that kind of thing. So what's your social media handles that you can let everyone know so they can check out your stuff?
It's mainly just Diz Williams Art. That's kind of what I go by with everything.
Yep.
So yeah,
So across the board.
pretty much. Yeah, if you
So
type
Insta,
in,
Facebook.
yeah, it's all Diz Williams Art.
Yep.
Yeah. Website. Although I haven't updated my website, so just ignore that one. Backspace. Delete.
All right. So we do get a couple of tattooers listen to us from across the world and that kind of thing.
Okay.
But what kind of gear are you using and why? I guess like what.
Okay, I was using I know that's not answering the question, but I'll get to the question. I was using an FK iron, just a electric machine, and it
Coil?
was coil.
Yeah,
Yep. Brain fart. I'm a professional. But it was too heavy on my hand because I'm a delicate flower. So I was just like, okay. So I tried rotaries, and I ended up buying a Spirit, and that's what I'm using at the moment. But I have used a Cheyenne pen, which I need to get fixed.
Yeah.
But I do like I like T-Tech cartridges, and the Quadrant ones that I've been using lately.
They're great,
They
aren't
are
they?
so on point.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, it makes my job look easy, and it makes me look good at what I do.
Yeah, they're kind of, so over in Australia,
Yeah.
our price can vary, and it's always a fair bit for tattoo
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
Quadrant are up there in price, but so I ordered some, didn't I? And I just was like,
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
you
going to
were
put her onto
Yeah.
Quadrant.
Because you were asking me, and I was just like, I'm not fussed. Like,
Yeah.
a needle's a needle kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
But now, no, that's not the case. A needle's not just a
No.
needle. Like, these are
Yeah,
gorgeous. Yeah.
yeah. Black and grey, you're using like a system, or you're using just black cut down?
I used to use like the grey wash sets and stuff, but I've kind of just gotten used to diluting my black ink, just because I find it easier. Like, you know, you got your black ink, and then I'll use like maybe 6 drops, and then 3 drops and 1 drop,
Yeah.
and then like, you know, just fill it up with the witch hazel or the dilution
Yeah.
solution.
So for non-tattooers, we're just
MCD.
talking. So we use a set of blacks basically. So for black and grey style, and you'll cut that down to make a weaker version of it,
Yeah.
which goes into
Yeah.
the skin.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
And
they
then-
like gradients. You know?
Gradients,
Yes.
exactly what they are. Yeah.
where if I want to use like more of a opaque grey, then I'll mix my white with my black.
Yeah.
At different,
Put it-
a different sort
Like
of gradients.
concentrations and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and that makes like a real. I like the look of like the opaque greys.
Yeah.
instead
Is
of-
that hard? Like if you run out, like when you're painting and stuff, if you mix that great colour and then you run out and you try and mix it again, you can't get that same level.
Well, with painting, like I don't do a lot of painting. Like, do
Yeah.
you mean like with?
Yeah, like with your ink, say you're mixing your inks
Yeah.
to your different gradients, do you find
It's
like
the same sort. Well, for me, it's the same sort of the way that I do my grey wash. I just add like maybe 1 or 2 drops of white.
so you have a set like recipe so you know?
Sort of,
how
yeah,
to
in my
get the
head.
result.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's something that I've just practiced, and it's
Yeah.
just a habit kind of thing now.
You know
so
it.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So other gear that you're liking, so you've gone over to dynamic black since you've been here.
Yeah,
You're liking the
that's-
dynamic?
Yeah, that's actually like it's really pigmented, and
Yeah, yeah.
it sticks as well, and I really
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
because
it's
there's
really black, isn't
There
it?
has been there has been a few that I have used where it's not quite as pigmented. I don't want to say thick, but it's like it's thicker
Yeah.
almost. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just really it's just really pigmented, and
Yeah.
it gets in there, and you only have to do the line once. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
yeah.
don't have to go back over it and stuff. It's a good ink. I've never used dynamic before, so
Yeah.
it's definitely a nice experience. That with the Quadrant,
You're loving it?
makes my job so much easier.
Well, that's the idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I've got a couple of questions here. Good tattoo story and a bad tattoo story. I'll put you on
You
the
don't
spot.
you don't have to
Buzz.
name names.
You don't have to name names.
But they'll know who
It doesn't have to be crude
I'll
either.
know who they are. Okay, a good tattoo story. Good tattoo stories, all of them. I can't pick one. Like if it's a positive, if it's a positive person, positive environment. If you're having a good time with your client, it's going to be a good outcome.
Yep.
You know, even if they move, which you don't want to do, but even if they do, if it's a nice person, you can explain to them, don't do that easier than if it was an a-hole.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so, like my most... I've got more sad stories than happy stories, or
Yeah.
good stories. Yeah, but I'll make that my bad one then, instead of like a...
All right.
Yeah, I'll make... Instead
Yeah.
of bad, it's sad.
Cheeky.
So there's a lot of good ones. I can't even pick. Probably the first time when I tattooed my mum, that was probably my favourite because not only I tried to stay professional, but at the same time I was just like, can you stop moving? You know, and I just wanted to pin her down, just like stop moving.
Did you go like, look, Mum, no hands?
I just sort of like dangled it by the cord.
Yeah.
I'm not even touching you. But no, that was that was a good experience. But the sad one was, or the bad one, I should say, was there was a couple, and they had a 16-month-old, and it died from SIDS, and which is 2 months after. Like the cutoff point's usually 14 months and they're out of the clear, you know what I mean? And so, and my daughter was 18 months at the time, and I was just like, that's way
Hit
too
home.
close to
Yeah.
home. I can't deal with that. But he got this ginormous hoot on his back, like, and it was big black and grey hoot, and underneath in the banner it said birds, because that was something that she used to always say, like birds, birds, birds. And I was just like, man, like that
I'm
was.
gonna start crying.
Oh, don't do that.
You cry everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But then, like 2 months later, I saw her having lunch in the food court by herself, and I was just like, her daughter should be there with her, you know. But then I saw them, happy. 2 years later, I saw the same woman and her husband in the food court, and they had a brand new baby.
No.
And I was just like, oh yes, it was a nice, and you know, I was just like, I wanted to go up and say hi, but I'm like, didn't want to
Be that weirdo.
interrupt. Yeah, but it was just one of those stories where you know, meant to hug your kids a little bit tighter that day.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of
Always.
stories like that where you're just like, as much as kids get under your skin, when you hear stories like that, you need that reminder sometimes. You know, it was just like, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
moving on.
Right,
That was
just
sad.
pause.
Yeah.
All the cameras still going? Yep. And I was just making sure you did press record on the audio.
Yeah.
Yours.
Otherwise, go again.
Yeah, good.
Oh,
All right.
Wait,
What?
I want some water.
All right, so we're on our last question for you for this podcast anyway.
Yeah, cool.
I'll probably rope you in next week as well.
awesome.
So as you can tell by being here, the cabin's pretty music orientated as well. What are you liking the music that's here, and what do you kind of listen to?
Oh, you don't want to know what I listen to.
If it's
love the music.
Beyonce, The Door is...
No.
It's
it's
Taylor
nothing,
Swift.
It's
Taylor
nothing too mainstream. No, I enjoy the music here. I'm loving the Dead South that I'm hearing, because the Dead South is amazing.
Yeah.
I only just got discovered. I only just got discovered by the Dead South.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my brain is on fire. Yeah, I only just
Discovered
heard
it,
about
yeah.
the Dead South a couple of months ago. I was just like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
And then when I came in for the interview to get the job, I was just like, oh, they listen to good music, which is rare, because I'm so glad it's not rap. Like I'm not a rap fan at all.
No.
And it gets played in a lot of in the
Yeah,
shops that I've
rap
been
or
in
metal,
anyway.
yep.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. But I'm, as I said, mixed bag. I listen to a lot of things. I was a massive Silverchair fan when I was younger. I still have a soft spot for them in my heart, just because they're Aussie. But yeah, other than that, I listen to a lot of Puddles, a lot of covers. Really, if I'm going to go on Spotify, I type in acoustic covers, and I just listen to a lot of covers, because sometimes I think they're a lot better than originals, because you're just kind of hearing someone else's take on it, and I like
There'll
that.
be a lot of music nerds watching this going, how dare she say they're better than the originals?
Some of them.
Different.
Some of them.
Yeah,
I still like the originals, just sometimes it's nice
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hear
that's
the
right.
original a different way.
Or people's take on it, and
Exactly,
their
yeah.
creative.
Music's subjective, so
yeah, it's
you can
like
like
tattoos,
whatever you
isn't it?
want. Exactly, and food.
Yeah.
It's all subjective. My musical palette is different to yours.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to head over to Oryana, so
Cool.
you can have a break for a sec. How you doing, Ori?
I am splendid. I'm good.
So Ori hasn't been on the podcast yet, but she has been here a while now. How long have you been at the cabin?
Since December, not last year, the year before.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah,
just over a
late
year.
December,
14
yeah.
months.
We're recording this
Yeah.
in January. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
So how do you like it here?
I love it here. Like, the cabin is amazing. I don't even know words.
We didn't pay her to say that either.
No,
They
like,
paid me.
damn it.
Tell her.
She's like, now it's crack.
They paid me in coffee.
Sugar.
Yes, caffeine high.
Yeah, I love the cabin. Like, it's such a like unimaginable like thing. Like, I say to people all the time that like I feel sorry for the people who walk past the windows and go to work, because like it doesn't feel like work. It feels like coming home. It feels like coming to my friends and coming to my family, and it doesn't feel like a job. It feels like I get to socialize and make coffee and just enjoy my day. And like I come in even on my days off because it's such a comfortable space.
Yeah.
Like,
I
yeah,
agree.
I love it. Yeah.
It's not a job. We're very
No.
spoiled.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
So what's your role at the cabin?
I am a barista. Yeah.
A rooster barista.
Rooster barista. I am, it's me.
There's a fair few dad jokes go on at the cabin, isn't there?
I love dad
For those
jokes.
who are listening, won't know what the hell that is in reference to.
No. Yeah, they don't have the
To my rooster
power
hair.
of visuals.
She has a green mohawk.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. For those not video listeners.
She doesn't have a big penis.
Well, you don't know about that.
We're not that friendly yet.
All right, so Ori's been part of
Our big
the coffee part for her whole time here. But what's your kind of favourite coffee bean that we've had, or what you know?
The El Salvador bourbon is like my favorite coffee bean.
Now, no alcohol.
No alcohol. There's no actual bourbon in it.
Which we
It's
did get that
just-
question a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
Asked if we
Yeah.
soaked it.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense to ask the question. But no, I like it. It's
Pop quiz.
creamy. And
Why is it a bourbon?
It comes from the Bourbon County of Tennessee.
No.
I don't know.
The style of
Kentucky.
It's the style
What was the
of
start of the
bean.
name of that bean?
El Salvador.
You know
Yeah,
that's a
El
place, don't
Salvador
you?
is the suburb in Bourbon,
Tennessee.
in Tennessee.
Kentucky Fried Coffee.
And this is why we keep her. She's entertaining.
She used to know.
Yeah,
She had too much. Yeah.
had too much caffeine. My brain is going too fast.
So what's your
It's
favourite
nice.
part of the cabin?
Oh, that's hard. I love the cabin for so many different reasons. Like, I love our customers, and I love the coffee, and I love how much effort and love goes into the coffee. It's not just buying a bag of dry coffee beans. No offense to anywhere else, but like, we put so much effort and so many steps and so much time and energy into making the best coffee beans, and even the coffee beans that we trial, like, we want to make sure they are the tastiest and like the best for our customers. And it helps for me to really appreciate my job, because it's not just serving customers that I don't care about or that I don't know. Like, it's super social. I don't know, and working with tattoo artists, like, no barista gets to do that. Like, that's crazy.
No, well that's right. We're the first, as we know, and only coffee/tattoo shop.
Yeah, and that's
At
nuts.
least in New South Wales, but I'm guessing the country. But
Yeah, and that's
I was just going to say, I don't think I've been to any other coffee shop that has baristas that look like Levi
you know,
or Ori. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
They're a
that's
little
how,
kooky.
that's how non-judgmental this place is.
Yeah.
Is that you just, like, you come in being yourself and you're loved for it. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just, it's like mum and dad. You know what I mean? Like, they just love you for
Yeah,
who you
yeah.
are. Like,
Yeah.
it's, yeah. And it's such, it's a creative environment.
it is, yeah, and encouraging. It's so encouraging.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. It's confidence
nice.
boosting
Getting
and
teary.
everything. A smudge of makeup.
No
So-
crying on camera.
obviously a good part of the cabin for Ori is she can get tattooed. Although she does really badly in the pain department of getting tattooed.
I am baby.
But that's another story. But what's next tattoo for you?
Oh, my next tattoo is a fish. I'm so excited. Jesse's gonna tattoo a fish on me. And I fell in love with it from the moment that it was posted on Facebook. And I joked to Bree, I was like, has anybody got that? Because I dibs it. And yeah, so this Thursday, like, what?
Oh, it's this week?
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah. Are you going arm or leg?
Going
Oh, you will stay
yeah,
out of
so
the
then
leg.
I've got something planned that I would absolutely love for Diz to
What's
do.
your
so
worst spot to get tattooed?
around my ankles, so
I was just going to say in a
I was
tattoo
about to say
booth.
on her body.
yeah, while I'm
Bringing up the
conscious.
mum jokes.
Oh, look at me go. They're terrible.
Yeah, around the ankle. When Dave tattooed like the little Achilles bit, it felt like wet fire. Like I was
I thought she was going to say wet fart.
wet fart. No, that's what I did before the tattoo.
Yeah.
Stress fart.
Yeah. What?
Stress fart.
Stress fart? That's me. I am a stress fart.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go into the same, the music question for you. What do you like what we play at the cabin, and what do you listen to? And
I hit the jackpot when I started working here because like all of the folk kind of music that I I had already been listening to, and like Amigo the Devil and Harley Poe and obviously the Dead South and like Days and Days and all of these bands. We play like that kind of music here, and when I started working here I was like, oh my god, somebody else knows these songs. Like it's not
Yeah.
just my little like niche thing that I listen to. And I've been introduced to so many other bands and so many other different kinds of music, and have learned about other genres that I would never have found on my own. And all of the live bands, like live performances, like I get to work on those days, but also I get to like witness and experience and be a part of like all of the live events, and that's
yeah,
nuts.
well, that actually leads on to my next question, which is, do you enjoy working the gigs at the cabin?
Oh my god, yes. Yeah, I get to meet so many cool people. Like, it's cool. It's like meeting like little celebrities. Like, and my friends, like one of my friends' band got to play here, and that was pretty cool because like I got to work, but also got to see them and watch them live, and it just felt like a clashing of two awesome worlds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the live events.
Yeah, so Diz
the
hasn't
energy.
No, I was going to say I can't wait till
tattooed
it's
at a
my
gig yet.
turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
It's loud.
yeah, we'll have to get you on a
Yeah, they
on a
are
gig
loud.
day,
Yeah.
enjoying the atmosphere.
When's the next one?
Saturday. Do you want to work Saturday?
I'll
Maybe.
visit. I'll come for coffee. That
She'll
Ori can
assess
make
the
me.
volume.
Yes. Assess the
Is it a
volume.
workable level?
All right, so we're going to move on now to Bree.
That's me.
So some people may know, some may not know, but Bree's my partner. She's also co-owner of the business.
Who do you feel sorry for more? Me or Dave?
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Yeah, I know. You looked at Dave.
It was,
and you're
it
just
was
like,
a
who do you feel more
it
sorry
was a
for?
rhetorical question for the listeners.
I feel sorry for me.
Having to put up with both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, when mum and dad fight, it's not good.
No,
No.
it's not good. You want to go to your room and ignore it all.
We've only had probably like what 2 or 3 of those.
Over
the
a
shop.
tattoo. I don't think I've ever seen you guys like
Yeah, no, I haven't
you
yet.
don't argue, you don't fight.
They just stare each other down.
Just gets a little cheeky.
Yeah, and there's been a few
That's it.
times where like some staff have kind of gone and like scampered.
Everybody has that.
Scott doesn't. Scott goes, yeah, I think what you did was wrong there, Dave, and then
Yeah.
walks away.
Oh, so he takes
Yeah.
one
Pesty.
side. Yeah.
Oh no, he just
he just pokes.
throws
Oh,
in.
he just-
That's
it's
why
just-
he's called
okay.
Pesty though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a pest.
He just goes like, oh, let's
I'm new
poke
to
it with a
this
stick and
information.
see what happens. Oh, you'll learn.
Oh, I will? Okay.
Yeah, he wants. We have a lovely customer that comes in all the time. I won't name names. And Scott told him the other week to come and ask me for my recommendations on what moisturising cream to use because I used to work in a pharmacy. Did not work in a pharmacy. So I then got stuck with him for like 20 minutes.
I remember that, and I remember asking you, did you work in a pharmacy? And she's like, no. And I said, oh, so Scott lies. She's like, yes.
Yes,
Scott
he
lies.
winds people
Maybe-
up.
Scott lies a
Maybe
lot.
Scott was thinking of me. I worked in a pharmacy.
No,
No,
he
he
was
was-
Oh no,
being
he was
served.
being a butthead.
He was throwing her under the bus with her legs tied together.
Yeah, he's all right though. It's fine.
All right, so what do you love about owning the cabin, being the
God.
the
Look,
driver?
as a business owner, I'm sure many other business owners will agree. It's like all the money, all the time off, all the long lunches we get to do, and the short hours, which is so far from the truth.
So I've only been here a week, and I'm looking at it like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? You haven't done
No,
one of those
like
things.
a lot of you have this thing like people that hear like, oh, you own a business, so you must be loaded, you must get all this time off. My nails are not done. I don't get to go for lunch. Heck, we don't even get paid yet. But yeah, but owning the cabin, I think I love that we get to set an environment and a culture that we would thrive in.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it seems to be an environment that who we have here loves it as well.
Yeah.
It's very kind of, is it reciprocal?
Yeah.
Reciprocated, yeah.
Humbling?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I
that
think
one
you
on
guys
you.
are superheroes, and that's not humbling. Like, I think you guys are crazy.
It's like you're not really your own boss, because I mean the way that I look at it is we may kind of make the major decisions in the business, but at the end of the day we still work for everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, and we like to take everyone else into consideration and make it a very kind of level, what's the word?
Level playing field, I don't know.
No, just like a very open kind of management.
You guys don't feel like bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what we've tried to do. Like,
Yeah.
we try and involve everyone in the decision making, and everybody kind of knows where we're at and what we've got planned, and
Yeah, it's
try
not,
and
yeah. It wouldn't be a work
communicate
meeting,
things.
it's a family meeting.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no hierarchy.
No.
Doesn't feel like there's like they're the bosses and then we're just the workers.
Yeah,
like,
no, like we will get in, like, you know, we're often, well, I don't do opens anymore, so I can't say first here, first, last to leave, but, you know, we're putting in big hours.
We work for a
and
long time,
we,
though.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't expect everyone else to work hard if we don't kind of set and lead by that example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think I
So
got sidetracked.
kind of, yeah. kind of
that's
goes back
fair.
to when we were setting up, wanting the place to be good for everyone,
Yeah,
including us.
yeah, exactly.
But
so
it's good for the tattooers and the baristas and
to make it feel like a place that is like a second home and doesn't feel like working, which I think the girls have kind of touched on that before, which is really cool. That people feel like that without having to be kind of not reminded, but like have it in your face all the time that you guys just naturally feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to me, tells us that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And
And for the customers as well, like you guys have created an environment where people come in for their first tattoo because it isn't clinical. It's not a scary kind of environment. It's very like everybody here greets you and everybody treats the customers like a friend, and we actually care
Yeah.
about them on a personal level, not just here's 3 hours, give us your money. Like I
Yeah.
think it's amazing
it's
that you
not
guys
so
have created a
transactional.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
whereas-
everyone's smiling.
It's
odd.
it's the nitrous in the air. It's
Yeah.
like,
The
happy
laughing,
gas.
the laughing gas coming
Yeah,
from
that's
the
what's
tent.
in the aircon.
Released
Actually,
every
that's why they
15
have it on.
no, that's fart gas
It's fart gas.
from Ori.
Yeah, every 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
You leak.
All right, so what tattoo is next for you?
That's a good question. I should say it's one from you, being my husband. But I've just started working with Jessie on getting some work on my arms done. So I think that will probably most likely be my next one. Because having a husband that's a tattoo artist is like having one that's a builder and you get nothing built at
built.
home. I can never get in with him. I can never book in with my husband.
Probably build you something quicker than I'll tattoo you.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's much easier to book in with another artist and pay them for their time.
So how do you find dealing with me and my crazy ideas?
For the most part, it's okay. There's definitely times where your one-track mind does become a little bit obsessive.
Like drums. Like drum sets.
Yeah.
So a bit of a backstory to that is
Dave has 500 drum sets. At
Is it
least.
that many now? I saw them.
So I have Tourette's and OCD. So I'm functional, very functionable, but I have. How would you explain it?
I think you manage your Tourette's a lot better than you do your OCD.
Yeah,
He doesn't have like the vocal Tourette's.
I do actually.
But in that,
In case you haven't noticed through this podcast.
Yeah.
If he tells you to off,
I mean-
he actually means it. That is not a tick.
Which doesn't happen very often. You have to rub me the wrong way pretty hard.
Yeah. So, but it's more the OCD, which is your obsessive side. So once you kind of hone onto something, so when you were doing your bushcraft, it was a lot to do with that, and it's kind of like he's compelled to like collect everything that he can, not just physical but mentally as well. Like he wants to get all the knowledge that he can.
It's sort of like, it's not like hoarding, is it? Or is it sort
It's
of?
like mentally hoarding.
Mentally hoard. I was gonna
But then
say,
he shares
yeah.
it as well.
And
I
uses
hear all
it to,
about
like,
it.
Mental hoarder.
I like that. Mental hoard. I mental hoard a lot of things too.
But yeah, and then like it kind of goes in like phases. So you'll kind of lock onto one thing for a while, and then it will just naturally kind of steer you into another way. And then I go, okay, so he's off bushcrafting now because it's gone to fishing. And then I know you've been fishing for a while. But lately, it's been drums. So I think how many sets have we got now?
What are we up to, Jackson? So Jackson's on audio and video here.
Last count, I
seen
heard
that.
there was 5. So,
Pretty sure I lied.
yep.
7?
What? 8? Oh,
Yeah, I think we're
maybe
at 7.
7. Maybe 7.
Yeah, but how
So
many
for those
pieces
kids-
to a drum kit though?
Yeah,
Well, they're all
shush.
different.
Oh God. See, it's limitless. So
just
he's.
one, oh,
What?
no.
No, sorry, you go.
Wanted to like add on to that point, like Dave and Bree are so accommodating to like mental health as well. Like I was like diagnosed with bipolar ages and ages ago, and I was unmedicated for quite a while that I was working here. And if it wasn't for Dave and Bree being so kind and understanding, I would have absolutely lost my mind and not been able to hold down a job, and them telling me straight up that I need to get my crap together and giving me so many chances has allowed me to stay in this wonderful place. And like I love that they're so open with any of the struggles that they go through, but they're also there for everybody in the cabin who goes through struggles. So
She's
that's
like our
just-
youngest child.
It's been a wild ride. No.
I'm growing up slowly.
No, but I think
I'm learning.
I think like we're all pretty open, and I think we kind of foster the environment where we do feel like people can feel comfortable to talk about it, and that there is no stigma and no
Yeah.
judgment here. And I think, to be honest, everybody here has kind of got some mental stuff
Yeah.
that they're dealing with. Except for Jesse, we haven't figured out what's wrong with him yet.
He works here, so there's got to be something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there's
know, that's
something.
what I mean.
There's something wrong with him. All right, so last question is probably a bit of a big one. You do so many roles in the cabin. Like, what's your favourite? What makes you get up and go, can't wait to get into work today? We'll focus
my
on the positives,
God.
not the negatives.
Oh,
You
no,
know,
no.
there's-
I do, yeah, I do, like, I know that
Obviously,
I do
every
get
job
bogged
has a
down.
negative.
Yeah, of course, like, there's no perfect thing, and, look, I think the people that we have working here, like, make me look so forward to coming here. That hasn't been perfect, and it's taken us a while to find the right people
Yep.
to jump on the bus. But I think, yeah, having everybody work so well together and so cohesively, and then the customers that we get into, our clients and stuff, like it's just really nice to build personal relationships. You know, just see how people are doing. And
Extended
that's such
family.
a boring answer.
Well, what's your favourite role that you do?
I don't know, like it changes. Sometimes I like just being kind of the gopher and having like to go to Woolworths and get the supplies and then just flit about and checking on the customers. And then sometimes I really just love to jump on the coffee machine and, you know, like it varies, which is good because if I'm in different moods and some days I'm not really feeling kind of on as it would be, I can just sit back and do more of an admin type thing, and it's good to have that flexibility to fit with where my mind is.
Yeah, we don't have that choice as a tattooist. You always have to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's kind of the same for me anyway, because
Yeah.
even
If
if
I
I
was to,
am
like,
sitting
yeah.
down the back, people will still come and find you and want to chat
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So.
And if I was feeling off, I know that I would be able to tell you guys and you'd understand and kind
Yeah.
of like make it a nice, easy day for me.
Yeah,
and
of
stuff
course.
like that. Like it's just that mutual, yeah. Like I don't know. I think we're all empaths, to be honest, and we're all just
Yeah.
feeling each
Yeah.
other. Like
Yeah.
the vibes here
Yeah.
are so similar to what you walk in with, and then you walk out with the same vibes.
Yeah.
It's not like you walk out with crap vibes because you've had a bad day.
Yeah.
Like you walk in happy and you leave happy.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And I think everyone's kind of aligned in what they expect from here as well. Like, I think at the end of the day, we all want a place that we can come to, feel comfortable, have some fun, make some money,
Yeah.
and go home,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, and not like out and out greed, but,
Yeah.
I almost feel guilty about making money here because I'm having such a good time doing it.
well, that's all right.
When
I don't
said
have
at
to
this-
pay
when I
you.
started working, I
Yeah.
said to Bree and Deb, I was like, you guys are paying me too much. All I do is make coffee and talk to the customers.
And I'm having a really good time, like, you know.
And my answer was I can drop your wage.
Yeah. Although we actually can't.
All right, so we'll finish up the podcast there. Has anyone kind of got more they want to add?
Just thank you.
I love the Cabin Collective very much. Thank you.
I love
Yeah.
you all.
That wasn't
Big
awkward at all.
All right, so feel free to anyone watching, listening to this, to come in and meet the guys at the cabin. We are very friendly, and we do get a lot of people just come and hang out, and it's
Yeah.
because of the way the place is set up and the way we do things here.
It really is
So
a
you
cabin.
come in, Ori will make you a coffee.
It really
Bree
is.
will probably greet you if you are coming in for tattoos. And you can come see Diz now for tattoos. So we urge you to kind of get onto her social media and see what she does. Throw us some curveballs of something to tattoo.
I got to book in before you're completely booked out.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
Deal.
It will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she has some designs coming as well, don't
I
you?
do, yeah. I've got,
Yeah.
I've got some flash happening.
Oh,
some-
Yeah, it
some
should hit
secret flash.
tonight on the
Oh, should it?
Facebook. So,
Speaking
which will
of,
obviously be
speaking of
after.
flash, she's not going to flash you,
No,
but
no.
we have a flash
extra.
day coming up, which
Oh,
will be
yeah.
announced soon as well.
I'm excited for that.
Quick
Me
plug.
too.
So keep an eye out for the Flash Day, and we'll see you guys on the next podcast. We should be doing a
Okay.
weekly podcast now. It has been a fair bit of difference in the time of it, but should be a weekly thing now. So
Let us know what you want to know in the comments below.
that's right.
Make sure to
let us
like and
know.
subscribe.
Let us know what you're listening from. So if you're a tattooer, let us know you're listening for some tattoo content. If you're right into coffee, if you're right into music, let us know, because this shop is based around those three. So it will always be mixed content. So just let us know what content you want to hear. And all right, thanks everyone for doing the podcast.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys next podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I put a spell on you because you're mine. Stop the things you do.